let's get to it. Alchemy United here, back to do the coin toss for this year's EFA Cup final. Zebra versus Inter Yanan versus Zebra. Coin toss to determine who's the home team, which would mean that they get to decide the weather, the settings, whether there's a headset being used or not, etc, etc. Also, since we've got one team employing the AI, it may be that the AI is stronger as the home side, we don't know. Regardless, this is what we do, this is how we've done it every year. As I've been knocked out early, I've decided to help out the EFA. It's been a quiet season this season, it's been a quiet season, but it doesn't change history. When we look back, when the EFA has grown to where it needs to be, the history books won't say this was a loud season, this was a quiet season. You just have the champions and the winners there. And some clubs are really starting to establish themselves now, just as the EFA is continuing to develop, and Inter is such a club, you have to say. They're the ones that knocked us out, and now we can stand proud and say we were knocked out by finalists, potentially champions. So Inter Yanan have got to the final by knocking out the previous champion Falcon Arrows. So there's no shame in us taking Inter to a replay and then being eliminated by a 1-0 defeat. FIFA's not my strong point, but this is not about Alchemy United here. It's about the two finalists, Zebra in the final after already winning the league. You know, it's impressive. It's impressive. That was my title, the league title, and unfortunately we finished third this year. Guess who finished second? You guessed, Inter Yanan, and Zebra won the league, so they're now the current league champions, and deservedly so, to be fair. They've got a great set of players. Tactically they're really good, and that's why going on using the AI kind of suits them, because they can just choose their 11, choose what tactics they want to use, and they'll be strong. It's up to Inter Yanan to hold his nerve and try and beat them on Legendary. Sweaty failed to do it, which most of us could have predicted. They probably weren't prepared, and you know, he just got beaten miserably. 4-0 convincing was never in question. However, we saw Beast, who did look kind of prepared on paper. They should have won the game. I think they went 3-0 up at one stage when they were playing Zebra in the quarterfinals, I believe it might have been. But then, no, they slipped, they switched off, they took things for granted, conceded 1 goal, and then, yeah, against Legendary you concede 1, and basically the story's written for you to get banged. You just got to keep them out, don't give them any encouragement. So Beasts were prepared by the pad. You could see they've been playing Legendary, they've probably been banging it out, but they weren't prepared mentally. You know, the discipline wasn't there, which is unfortunate for them, because there's a big opportunity. They really fancied the chances in this tournament. However, it's now Inter's turn. If Zebra win this, they've now won the league and the EFA Cup in the same season, and they've won every major title there is to win in this current EFA setup. They're the current champions of the Gold Cup, which is only for, well, it's called the Champions Gold Cup, so that should be explanatory there. Very, very hard trophy to win, as it only involves the top 4. Next year, I think they're saying it's going to be changed, so it'll be the top 3, and the winner of the EFA Cup will contest the Champions Gold Cup, and it's a 2-legged affair, so it's not a joke at all. Yes, and Zebra Rovers are the current champions of that. They've also just won a league. So if they win this EFA Cup, they're holding all the marbles, all the titles. However, the Champions Gold Cup is this year's Champions Gold Cup is still yet to be contested. Ourselves, Alchemy United, are in it, and I believe that's my trophy this year. Yeah, I'm very, very confident. Made some mistakes in the league, but the Champions Gold Cup being on FM, which it's looking like it will be. I think we are the strongest in terms of recruitment, spotting players and knowing how to use the players. So everything suits us. We just made some mistakes this year. Zebra were excellent. But yeah, Zebra, if they win this final, that means they are the only club to have won every single competition in the current EFA setup. Yeah. So the winners of the EFA Cup, in its first year with Genesis after beating Gully Reapers, they lost the original and it got turned over. The result got turned over due to a technicality, and then Genesis won. Many would argue Gully Reapers should have won that. The second year, 2022, Falcon Arrows won it convincingly, and Intianan defeated them in the semi-final, knocked them out, to contest this year's final with Zebra Rovers. So that's the current standing of things. Zebra Rovers have picked heads, so I'm gonna just whatever. Let me do this coin toss without further ado. What is it? That's tails. So Intianan will be the home side for this year's EFA Cup final. Let's see what happens. Maybe if they'll allow me, I will interview them in the live stream. That's the tradition of the EFA Cup finals. It's always streamed live to YouTube, and there is always an interview with both clubs. However, where one club is employing AI, I don't think that there'll be a need for that, and there certainly isn't any real need for Bob, who usually does the EFA Cup finals. However, if Inter prefer Bob, then I guess we'll have to see if Bob will do it this year. But I'm willing to do that. Yeah, and let's see how they can perform under the pressure against Zebra's very strong side, powered by the AI. Yeah, we'll see how they do. Inter had a history years back of folding under pressure. Some very funny videos you find on the YouTube channel when they're live streaming against AI and everything's going well, and then suddenly they get banged. Yeah, it's always funny. It's not just Inter, it's always funny. That's the beauty of live streams. It's live, people forget that they're live and they're expressing themselves. You often hear them shouting at their mother or father, what the hell, I'm trying to do this final, fuck off, and whatnot. So, I mean, Beasts were screaming when they gave away their 3-0 lead in this year's tournament against Zebra. I was watching that game on my phone. I turned my back to answer my doorbell, put my phone down, only to hear screaming. So I ran to my phone to see what the screaming was, and Beast had lost the 3-0 lead. So yeah, live streams are always fun. So let's try it. Once Inter post the date and time of this game, and agree it with Zebra and then post it, I should say. We need to try and watch it live. If not, we'll catch up on the YouTube, which I'm sure you guys will do as well. So yeah, man. Yeah, looking forward to this match and looking forward to the seasons to come. As like I say, it's been a quiet season because behind the closed doors, or behind the scenes I should say, there's a lot of work being done to scale up. So soon we should have a lot more personalities, a lot more clubs, and it'll be a lot more competitive. So we're looking forward to the seasons to come. Yeah, but also this final between two rivals, I should say. I don't know where the rivalry came from. I know they both respect each other, but there is a rivalry, and we're going to see who comes out on top on this one. We want to wish both clubs good luck, yeah, and see, quiet season or not, history won't say it was a quiet season, it will just say who was the champion that year. So